Hello there, Virgo. How are you guys doing today? Look at that. It's already popped out. All right. Welcome to your daily check-in. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for being here. Now, if you are new here, trust that your intuition has brought you here. Okay, there is something in today's reading that will pertain to your current situation, whatever that may be. If you'd like to share that with me in the comments down below, that would be great, because I do love to communicate with all of you. I was doing some meditation just beforehand, and I think we're going to have a really great reading today. I know I always say that, but know that I always want the very best for you guys. I'm a little bit biased. All right, so first card that already popped out here is the Knight of Wands. We'll deal with him later, but overall that's a really good positive sign, right? Because that's a lot of energy. All right, look at that. Next card here to reveal is the Strength card. So the Strength card is all about your inner strength. There might be a whole lot of stuff going on around you right now that is challenging you. Not just, the tower moments that you guys have been through, but just, everyday life. Now, these are daily check-ins. So this is more just to kind of help guide you through the day and kind of give you some ideas of where you might have some challenges today or the next couple of days. So that being said, with the Strength card, this is about you finding different ways to handle challenges, right? Just like the Maiden here is controlling the lion is representing the challenge, whether it's a mental challenge, physical challenge, whatever, it's a challenge. And you see here, she's controlling the lion herself, right? So this is to signify to you that whatever it is that's coming towards you that you think you cannot handle, you absolutely can. You just have to go within and find how to navigate yourself around that challenge, that there is more than one way to deal with problems that are currently, in your situation. So if you're at work right now, for example, and you're playing hooky and watching my video, there might be, a challenge that's put in front of you, whether it's a difficult coworker or a situation, whatever. And, you're being reminded to just go within and, find another way to deal with that challenge. All right. Wow, beautiful. So you've got here the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So this is a card, first of all, we're starting off with some serious, fire signs here. All right, because this is the Leo card, the Knight of Wands. The thing here is that, this is Sagittarius, this is Leo. So lots of Leo energy here, lots of fire. The thing about this is that this is very passionate energy for those of you. And so you might be kind of at work right now, raring to go. You may have been given a new project, and because you have the energy here of the King of Wands, you're really seeing the project in a different way. You're sort of like being the visionary. The thing here is that the Knight of Wands energy obviously is a little bit lesser than the King, because the King is a little bit more measured and controlled. The Knight of Wands can be a little bit impulsive, a little bit too bold sometimes. So definitely you're going to be getting stuff done here, Virgo, but you just have to, kind of corral that energy a little bit more. Sometimes, like I said, with the Strength card here, when you have a little bit too much of your energy, like if you're coming in as a Leo, something really, fiery, something like that, it might be a little bit much for other people around you. So you're going to have to try to, draw that in and really corral it a little bit so that you don't create any conflict for yourself. Because of course, like I said, I always want you guys to have the very best day, to have the very best outcomes. There you go. You're making a decision. So again, if something has presented itself to you, something that's a little bit challenging, or even just a heavy decision, whatever it might be, because someone here has put that responsibility on you, right? You might be the leader of a project or a leader of a situation. And so now they've said, okay, get it done. I don't care how, but just get it done. Now you're having to make that decision. This card is reminding you to trust your intuition, to go within. So much like I've asked you earlier to go within with regards to the Strength card here, go within, kind of pay attention to the messages that are being sent to you. The Maiden here has her back turned away from the water, the blue here, if you just kind of simplify it. And the blue, the water, that represents emotion. So it's kind of telling you, like I said, giving the work scenario, if you're having a lot of conflicts here or situations with different personalities, different emotions, right? You're being drawn in and, you're being reminded, be the leader, step away from it, use your intuition to try to come up with other solutions, other ways to handle challenges, right? And this doesn't even have to pertain to work. It could be home, it could be one-on-one, some other thing, your business, something like that. But yeah, corral the energy a little bit and go within, trust your gut, trust your intuition, and no matter what, don't give up. Okay, I love this energy coming up in the core, in the central part of this reading here, because apparently there is still a challenge that's kind of like looming. And we all know here that you don't give up. right? Persevere, push through it. No matter what, you want to push through it. And that's just kind of like that reminder that I'm giving you, that you guys have been through so much that I have no doubts that whatever challenge is presented to you, you will persevere. You'll push through. And here you are pushing the sticks again. Just like I said yesterday, I'm like, you guys work really hard. You work too much. But here's the thing. You push and push and push to the point where you persevere. But the good thing about this card is that you are going to cross that finish line. However, at what cost, right? So I'm reminding you again, drop some of these wands, some of the delegate. That's the word, right? That's the word that popped up. I know you Virgos don't like to delegate. You like to just do things on your own because you're perfectionist, and you will see little things that people make mistakes on. And so what happens is then you feel like you got to redo the thing all over again anyways. So you figure, well, why not just pick up all the sticks and get it done? So that way I don't have to tell people that they've messed up, right? Okay, so but remember, you know, take a break, right? Because you're not even enjoying the process. You're really just carrying the load all on your own, and universe doesn't want you to do that. They want you to enjoy the process, right? Enjoy the process. All right, look at that. You will be recognized for the hard work that you're putting in. And so if you are coming in as the leader, right, this visionary, this leader of a project, and somehow, you know, of course, you're not delegating nearly as much as I think you should, because you guys like to take responsibility, you will be recognized for all the hard work that you've put in, okay? So whatever that is, you will be recognized, and it's all going to bring such great abundance and happiness and all of that good stuff. Now, here's the thing. Being the visionary, being the leader, right, and having so much energy in you, sometimes when you are in that situation, you may have to defend your stance, and there may be some people that will have some talk behind your back, or just kind of like, you know, conflict, right? So again, going within and finding another way to deal with those problems is the better answer. You're always going to have naysayers. You're always going to have people that are not going to be on board when it comes to, you know, your vision, your ideas. But here's the thing. You're the king, right? They wouldn't have put you in that position to lead if you didn't have it. So clearly you have something here that will prove to be victorious, will prove to complete the project here. So here's the thing, like I always tell you, this can either be good or it could be bad, right? This is you taking the higher ground. This is you setting boundaries. But I don't want you to sit there and just continue to fight all day to the point where you're spinning your wheels, carrying everybody's burden, being worn out, no one's listening to you, and then you get frustrated, right? So we don't want that. So set your boundaries, right? Draw the line. Know that you know what you're doing. Look at all these wands, first of all. Lots of fire. Lots of passion here. And, you know, you've got your 6 of wands and then 7 of wands. I mean, you're in that progression. So here you're being celebrated for what you've done and all the hard work. And then you've got people that want what you have. So again, set the boundaries, protect yourself, and then move on because you've got other projects, right? Look at that. So if you are having to deal with a lot of people, be aware that there might be a lot of people that are kind of working against you in this situation, right? So use your intuition, just like I said here, use your intuition so that you can figure out and decide if it's true, you know, or if it feels wrong, like someone is conniving or maybe working against you, you're probably right. The other thing too is that this may be you, right? Not necessarily that you're being nefarious or anything like that, but you may be planning, right? You may be planning something quietly so that it comes to fruition, because you know that if you have posted or told people, okay, this is what we're doing next, right? And you get people saying, oh my God, I don't want to do that. That's too much work, for example. You know, you might just be kind of going quietly to say like, okay, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to quietly make those plans, and then, you know, what they don't know won't hurt them, kind of thing, right? You know, nothing horrible, nothing bad. It doesn't have to be, you know, the 7 of Swords doesn't always have to be very bad. All right, Knight of Swords. So you've got 2 knights here full of passion, full of energy. All right, remember to corral that energy. The Knight of Swords, very logical in a sense, right? Very analytical, but isn't as measured as the King of Swords. The Knight of Swords is very analytical, tries to be logical, but goes in there guns blazing or swords waving and can create a lot of conflict for you. Okay, so again, the reminder, the overall theme here is find another way. Use your inner strength, use that intuition that you've got to try to figure out how to communicate with people a little bit better so that you're not creating more negativity, negative energy around you. Okay, so I'm seeing that so far today's reading is more just kind of like a little bit of warning, you know, from Spirit, trying to tell you you might have some difficult people around you this week, and you know, just navigate around it, you know, corral your energy, try to figure out another way to communicate, to deal with challenges. Delegate. So things are moving and shaking for you really quickly here. Your life is changing. And again, you know, this reading can apply literally to any part of your life. It doesn't have to be work. I just use those examples just because, you know, I see all the sticks here. But anyways, the ones. All right, so things are changing in your life here. So whether you like it or not, I mean, this is fated. And it's going to work out in your favor. And you have so much energy. If you're starting your own business, holy moly, you are off and running. And this is going to work out in your favor. Just, you know, you've got to really remember that you are the leader. You have leadership qualities and you can create things the way you want. You know, just don't neglect yourself to the point where you are so overburdened here, right? That you're harming yourself. Don't, what is this? Like I always say, when it comes to you, you know, don't deny yourself the opportunity to delegate so that you can enjoy the journey, right? Don't go rushing so quickly, so fast through everything, because the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, this is really fast, passionate energy. I don't want you to miss out on the beautiful opportunity, because look at your outcome. Holy moly. Look at this. You are going to be celebrated, and you are going to celebrate the fruits of your labor. This is going to create independence for you. This is going to allow you to really hone your skills and really find other new skills that's going to improve your current situation, right? Yeah, see things from a different perspective. Look at that. See things from a different perspective. I know that you want to go in there and tell people what to do and tell them that they're doing something wrong, right? Whether this is at home or at work, you know, whatever. But, you know, take a pause. Right? Take a pause. And again, you're being reminded here to pause and see things from a different perspective. Instead of just looking down at the ground here, take a pause and get enlightened, get in touch with your higher self and enjoy the process. Really see things from a different perspective, right? Right? So here you've got the Seven of Swords and with the Wheel of Fortune. Same thing here. You have to see things from a different perspective. You know, are you right or are you wrong? Or is someone, you know, double crossing you, for example? Or did you just misunderstand that, right? So sometimes instead of going in there being the truth seeker and saying, you did this wrong or you're doing this to me, you know, universe is reminding you, don't create that conflict, not just yet. Take a break, take a look at things. You know, ensure that you have all of the facts before you go in there and you know, and create more drama for yourself. I don't want that for you. Look at that. If you drop some of these sticks, you may even have time to connect with someone, okay? To unite with someone. But the thing here is that you work so much and you don't delegate your responsibilities. And maybe the person, if this is a business partnership, for example, or a relationship or a home situation, you know, the person you are with, look at this outcome, right? The Two of Cups. It's okay. They're going to see eye to eye with you and they're going to understand the goal here. And it's okay for you to share some of the responsibilities with this individual. This is actually a very beautiful combination of cards, one right on top of one another, because it's telling you that there is someone around you who's willing to help you and give you support, and that you don't have to do it all alone, and that you both can cross the finish line together and achieve those goals if you allow yourself to delegate some of those responsibilities and see things from a different perspective instead of just staring at the ground, right? All right. And here, I mean, overall, everything is good. The central core here is, again, this hard work that you are putting in, this devotion, this dedication that you've got that's moving the needle towards, you know, positive things in the future. You're just being reminded here that you've got a lot of energy, very fast energy, and lots of bold energy here, too, with all of this fire. That, you know, it's okay to have that boldness, to have that drive, because I think that you guys are finally seeing the light. But look, look at this top row here. These are all very positive signs, positive cards, that if you corral your energy a little bit and find different ways of handling challenges in your life, seeing things from a different perspective, getting in touch with your intuition here, everything's going to work out in your favor. Right? There's just a couple of things that you're being reminded of. So this is really a very beautiful reading, because, you know, it's going to help guide you. You know, if you're sitting at work or if you're at home and then you're kind of feeling that pinch or you're feeling that challenge, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what my card said. Delegate a little bit. You know, I'm getting exhausted. Oh yeah, that's right. Delegate a little bit. All right, here we go. Let's see what other cards pop up for you. here you go, Two of Swords. So again, you know, when the cards repeat themselves, right? You've got the Two of Swords, Two of Air here. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision. Follow your own heart rather than trying to make others happy. Pretending there is no problem. Over-analyzing a situation. So yeah, you're going to have to make this big decision. Like I said earlier, there's this big decision that you've got to really tackle here. So go within and use your intuition. I love that. So clearly there's something here. All right, a happy marriage, happily ever after, emotional contentment, a loving relationship with your children, raising children wisely and successfully, people you can trust. This is your Ten of Cups. Okay, so Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment, right? Bliss, happiness, peace, joy, harmony, just as the card said here. All right, so this is coming your way. This is beautiful. Your Ten of Cups is coming, right? But you're working really hard at getting to it, and you're going to get there, right? Like I said, you're going to get to the finish line here with your and get your Ten of Cups. You have a 10 here and a 10 here. So it's all going to work out in your favor here. Just watch out for a couple of those hiccups. And then you've got the Ace of Swords, clarity, right? Brilliant ideas that may need refinement. Overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate clearly and concisely. Remain objective. So this is your Ace of Swords, right? So I love that that's going to be here because, again, it's a reminder here. You're getting the clarity and you're getting really brilliant ideas. And that's what you need, being the leader as the King of Wands here. But just make sure that you're communicating clearly, concisely, and you know, and doing it with tact also, right? Because people don't necessarily like being bossed around, right? Even though they need to be bossed around sometimes, but you know, coming in there and communicating clearly and respectfully, right? So that you don't create any more problems or any kind of negativity around you. All right, bottom of the deck here, you've got the Four of Pentacles. Managing your resources wisely. Extremes in how you give or receive money, time, or emotions. Smart business decisions. Seeking things as black or white. Being charitable. So a couple of things here, you know, if you are, you know, because again, you've got the sword, the wands here, you know, if you have a certain idea, if your quest is monetary wealth or, you know, something here in the material world, if that is the energy you're putting out to the universe, don't hold on too tight, right? If abundance is what you seek, send it out, put your intentions out, and then it'll come right back to you. Okay, it'll come back to you. The other thing too with the Four of Pentacles here is that, you know, don't let the need for wealth and financial stability, things like that, be the only thing that consumes your heart and your mind, right? Don't hold on too tight. See things from a different perspective. Trust that the universe has something great for you, because it does. It always does. I mean, you've got the Ten of Cups right here. You have fulfillment right here, and you're going to be doing it with someone here. You're going to unite with someone here. Okay, I like that. And then you've got your Nine of Pentacles. So a couple of things, yeah, make some decisions here. Delegate, right? Don't give up, right? Protect yourself a little bit. Set your boundaries. All right. Thank you so much for being here today, Virgo. I love you guys. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the kind and wonderful comments. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you tomorrow, actually. Have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.